Can't focus? Know absolutely nothing about any of your AP classes? Do not worry, that was literally me last year. And yet I still got all 4s and 5s on all of my exams because I actually learned to enjoy study. As crazy as that sounds, let me show you exactly how I did that so that you can also ace your exams. First and foremost, you need to figure out exactly how you learn best, because whatever like method of studying you choose, you should actually enjoy, because otherwise obviously studying will not be fun. And what I mean by this is figuring out if you learn best through like a bunch of practice problems or practice tests, like watching videos and taking notes, or like reading a textbook. Those are all different ways of studying, and you need to choose a method you genuinely enjoy, because that actually makes the biggest difference. If I had to learn everything watching videos, I would learn absolutely nothing. Taking a bunch of practice tests and doing just a bunch of practice problems over and over again, that helps me learn best, and that's just the way that I find the most, I wouldn't say fun, but like most enjoyable out of the rest of them. Doing the method that you actually enjoy makes studying so much better. So just try them all out and figure out which works best for you. Another big thing to actually enjoying studying is romanticizing it. Whether that is the look good, feel good, do good mindset by doing your makeup or wearing a cute like matching sweat set or something, or if it's going to a cafe or library because maybe you're more productive outside of your house, and because studying at a cafe is just like, that's like the Pinterest studying aesthetic. Or even just try getting like a fun drink or a sweet treat to help motivate you. One of the biggest things for me to actually lock in is I need to get rid of my distractions. And the thing that distracts me the most is my phone. I can lock in for however long until I look at my phone. If I even pick up my phone, I will be on that thing for an hour and never want to go back to study. If I'm studying at home, I will put my phone upstairs and be studying downstairs, or vice versa, whatever, so that whenever I feel like the urge to check my phone, I'd have to like go all the way up the stairs into my room and like go find it. And honestly, just the thought of having to like go so far to get my phone just to like check a text message or whatever, it's not even worth it. I just don't even go on my phone. Without hearing like the buzzing or the notifications going on, I don't even have like really the urge to check my phone while I'm studying. So then I won't get distracted watching like TikTok or something, and I can actually focus on what I'm doing. There's actually an app that can help you stay off your phone as well. I haven't really been using it that much, but it's called Flora, and it looks like this. So basically you have like your own garden, and you set a timer for however long you want to study. And basically every time that you start this timer, you're like growing some kind of plant. And you can see like I've grown like Christmas trees and like cherry blossom. If you open your phone while the timer is still going, you'll kill your tree. And then every time you complete your time, it'll like show here on like your feed, and you can have like friends and stuff to see what they're doing. Somehow not killing that tree was enough motivation for me not to open my phone. I know that doesn't work for everybody, but I just really didn't like seeing on the feed when I kill the tree, like it's saying that I killed the tree. Like, I don't know, that just bothered me. So I actually basically never went on my phone when I used the app, but you can at least try it. One more thing for staying off your phone that I've seen is taking a time lapse of you studying. I used to do this in like freshman year, where you just set up your phone and you time lapse yourself studying, because it's kind of the same thing with the tree. I don't know why I like did not want to stop the time lapse. Like somehow that was also enough motivation to keep me off my phone. I think when you're recording, you don't really get notifications, so you don't really have the urge to like look at your phone. But like anytime I did have the urge to look at my phone, just knowing that I was time-lapsing and I'd have to stop it, like stop me from looking. I actually don't know why that works, but you can try that too. If someone is talking, I cannot lock in for the life of me. It doesn't even matter if they're not talking to me. If I hear words like over there, I cannot focus. So I listen to music when I study, and I would definitely suggest listening to classical music. Since there's no words, it's a lot easier to focus on what you're like reading or actually doing, because if you listen to songs with words, especially songs that you like already know, you're gonna kind of sing along in your head, or at least think about what the song is saying, and then you're not really gonna be able to focus as well, especially if you're like practicing for like English or writing or something that you have to like read a lot. So I would definitely suggest classical music, because it's actually not that boring. While you're studying, it's nice to just have some background noise that doesn't like really distract from what you're actually doing. Now I'm gonna tell you about a few studying methods that I've tried or I've heard on TikTok that you might want to try out to help you remember and actually understand the material that you're learning better. So the first is the most popular, you've probably heard of this before, is like the Pomodoro method. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but basically what it is you work for 25 minutes straight, and then you take a 5-minute break, and then you repeat that cycle 4 times, and then after you've done it 4 times, you can take a longer 15 to 30 minute break. And it's some like psychological thing, I think, with like how much work time to the amount of breaks that like will help you actually be motivated and enjoy studying more than if you were to study like a full 3 hours straight. Like you're gonna burn yourself out. So supposedly this is like the perfect balance of studying to break, so you should definitely try that out. Another that I did, I actually don't know if this actually helped, and I don't even know if there's like actual studies that say this should work, but it's basically like a thing where you eat like peppermint or gum while you're studying, and then you eat the same thing while you're actually taking the test. While you're taking the test, you're tasting the same thing that you tasted while you were studying. So you kind of connect the two, and it kind of helps like jog your memory, supposedly. I don't know if that actually helped for me, but I did try that. And then also just try teaching other people. If you're in a study group, try teaching them a problem that you had trouble with, because when you go back to teach someone else, you have to fully reason through the whole thing. You can't kind of just go through and be like, oh yeah, I know how to do that. Because when you actually teach someone, you realize if you actually know the content or if you don't. And also at the same time, going through and reasoning out every single step of the problem will definitely help you not only remember it, but just understand the concepts better. So I would definitely say teaching someone is one of the best ways to study. When you're trying these things, also remember that you do need to take breaks. Even if you're studying the night before and you feel like you don't know anything, don't just try and study literally the entire night without allowing yourself time for some break. If you try and study for a good 9 hours straight, you are literally gonna get so burnt out, you're not gonna enjoy studying, and at that point, things are probably gonna stop sticking because you've just been thinking for so long and you haven't allowed yourself some time to like reset and like let all this information sink in. Even if they're only like 20 minutes, like go get some food, just sit down, take a quick scroll break on TikTok or something, and then go back to working. You're gonna hate studying if you're studying for literally the entire day. But if you're just studying in increments and making sure that you get time to reset, you'll find it so much more enjoyable. People dread studying, but I actually don't care about studying for tests. And I think all of these things really, really helped me like actually be able to study and actually enjoy studying as well. But now let me tell you some tips for the actual AP exam. First, make sure you dress in layers. So like maybe like a tank top and like a jacket or a sweater or something. Because depending on the room you're in, you're not gonna really know the temperature. And so if you dress in layers, it's so much easier to be comfortable no matter what the temperature is, because you can always put on a jacket or take it off or whatever. Because like you want to be as comfortable as you can so that you can focus on the actual test rather than if you're like freezing or sweating or something. Next is make sure you're drinking electrolytes like Gatorade or something rather than water. I don't really remember exactly what it is. I just know you don't have to go to the bathroom as easily if you drink electrolytes versus water, because the AP exams, like the time they give you is a long time, but the tests are long too. And so you don't really want to waste any of your time just going to the bathroom. So, but you also want to make sure that you stay hydrated. So I would recommend drinking like Gatorade or something. Make sure you get a good night's sleep. That means 8 to 9 hours. I know you're probably going to be staying up, doing some last minute studying the night before, but really, really try to get enough sleep so that when you actually are taking the test, your brain is fully functioning and awake. Because otherwise all your studying kind of goes to nothing if you can't even focus on what you're reading. Try and be calm when you're actually taking the test. It does feel important because literally everything that you've been learning for this entire year goes into this test. But like if you study enough, even if you studied just the day before, you know enough to at least pass the test. Just try to stay calm and don't get so worked up about it. Anyways, I hope that my tips helped. If you have any specific questions, just let me know. But basically that's my secret to staying motivated while studying and also acing my APs. That's it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching.